Imagine discovering a hidden doorway behind your basement wall. One that leads not to a room, but to an entire underground city, complete with schools, chapels, kitchens, and even wineries. This isn't a scene from a fantasy novel. It's real. It happened in 1963 in central Turkey, when a man renovating his home stumbled upon one of the greatest archaeological mysteries of our time, the hidden city of Derinkuyu.
Beneath the sun-scorched plains and whimsical fairy chimneys of Cappadocia, Turkey, lies one of the world's greatest subterranean mysteries, the ancient underground city of Derinkuyu. Hidden for centuries and only rediscovered in the modern era, Derinkuyu stretches deep below the Earth's surface, revealing a labyrinthine world of tunnels, chambers, and hallways capable of housing thousands of people. Its existence challenges our assumptions about ancient engineering, resilience, and the limits of human ingenuity. Unlike a simple cave or natural grotto, Derinkuyu is a fully realized city carved into the soft volcanic rock beneath the region. With its multiple stories, some descending more than 60 meters underground, it features residences, schools, stables, storage rooms, wells, ventilation systems, and even places of worship. The complexity and intentional design of this vast structure are astonishing, especially considering it was created without modern tools or machinery. Recognized as one of the most complex and expansive underground cities ever discovered, Derinkuyu raises profound questions about ancient civilizations and their responses to environmental and socio-political pressures. Who built it? Why was it hidden? How did entire communities survive beneath the earth for extended periods of time? This documentary essay seeks to explore the many layers of Derinkuyu, both literal and metaphorical. We will journey into its discovery, investigate its debated origins, analyze the methods used in its construction, and attempt to understand what life was like in this hidden city. Along the way, we'll examine its role as a sanctuary, a fortress, and an engineering marvel. More than a protective refuge, Derinkuyu stands today as a symbol of human adaptability in the face of danger and uncertainty. Its enduring mystery serves as a reminder that some of the most extraordinary human achievements are hidden not above us, but below our very feet. The story of Derinkuyu's modern revelation began not with an archaeological expedition, but with a simple act of home renovation. In 1963, a resident of the small Turkish town of Derinkuyu knocked down a wall in his basement, expecting perhaps to expand his living space. What he found instead was a tunnel leading to a dark, mysterious space unlike anything he had ever seen. As he explored further, he discovered that the tunnel opened up into a series of carved rooms and passageways that extended deep underground. This accidental discovery quickly drew the attention of Turkish authorities and archaeologists. As they investigated, they realized that this was no ordinary cave. It was a vast, multi-level underground city. Eventually, explorers mapped out at least 18 distinct levels, some reaching depths of approximately 60 meters, about 200 feet. What had once been a local secret had now become a global archaeological sensation. Geographically, Derinkuyu lies in the heart of Cappadocia, a region in central Anatolia known for its unique rock formations, volcanic landscapes, and historical significance. The area's geological composition, particularly its thick layers of soft volcanic tuff, made it ideal for carving out subterranean spaces. Over millennia, these characteristics inspired residents to burrow deep into the earth, creating not just homes, but entire communities hidden beneath the surface. Derinkuyu is the most famous of over 200 known underground cities in the region, many of which are connected by tunnels spanning kilometers. Its name, meaning deep well in Turkish, reflects both its physical depth and the ingenuity required to sustain life underground. Scholars believe that many of these cities were part of a broader network used for defense and refuge, particularly during times of war and religious persecution. The discovery of Derinkuyu was met with international excitement. Archaeologists, historians, and tourists alike were drawn to the site, captivated by its mystery and scale. It quickly became a focal point for studies into ancient Cappadocian life and architecture. Today, while only 8 levels are open to the public, it is estimated that up to 30,000 people could have lived within Derinkuyu at its peak. The city's rediscovery remains one of the most thrilling moments in modern archaeology. Understanding how Derinkuyu was built requires a journey back thousands of years to a time when ancient civilizations lived in close harmony and tension with their environment. The soft volcanic tuff of Cappadocia, formed from the ash of ancient eruptions, is both easily carved and remarkably stable when kept dry. This unique geological feature offered the perfect canvas for subterranean engineering. Though the exact date of Derinkuyu's origin is still debated, many scholars suggest that the earliest phases of construction began in the 8th or 7th century BCE, possibly by the Phrygians or the Hittites. Later additions and expansions may have been carried out by early Christians during the Roman and Byzantine periods, especially as threats from invaders intensified. What began as simple storage caves or hideouts may have evolved over centuries into the sophisticated underground metropolis we see today. Theories about who first built Derinkuyu remain contested. The Hittites, known for their advanced construction techniques and use of tunnels, may have started the earliest excavations. Later, the Phrygians, famed for their stone carving abilities, could have expanded it. Still others propose that early Christian communities fleeing persecution from Roman authorities greatly enlarged the city and made it into a fully livable space. Carving out Derinkuyu required a deep understanding of the rock's properties. Workers used simple tools such as chisels and hammers to slowly shape rooms, corridors, and staircases. The effort was monumental. The city includes schools, kitchens, wine and oil presses, sleeping quarters, and communal gathering areas, all carved by hand. Construction was done with care to avoid collapse, using columns, arches, and strategically placed support pillars. The engineering of Derinkuyu is especially impressive when viewed through a modern lens. The city includes over 50 ventilation shafts, some reaching 55 meters deep, ensuring a steady supply of fresh air. Wells were dug deep enough to access groundwater, many of which were isolated from the surface to prevent contamination during sieges. Clever design features like narrow corridors, trapdoors, and large circular stone doors allowed inhabitants to seal off parts of the city and protect themselves from invaders. Moreover, Derinkuyu was likely built in phases. Over generations, new levels were added as the population grew or as threats became more severe. Archaeological evidence shows changes in architecture, room function, and religious iconography, suggesting that the city was continually adapted to meet evolving social, political, and spiritual needs. In all, Derinkuyu represents a breathtaking example of ancient ingenuity. Without modern technology, ancient builders created a livable, secure, and self-sustaining environment deep beneath the earth. The very existence of such a place challenges our understanding of what ancient people were capable of, and why they might choose to live out of sight for so long. Living in Derinkuyu wasn't a short-term retreat. It was a fully equipped way of life that could sustain thousands of people for months. Archaeologists estimate the underground city could house between 20,000 to 30,000 inhabitants, including their livestock, making it a true subterranean civilization. Life underground was organized, strategic, and surprisingly self-sufficient. Each level of the city was thoughtfully designated for specific functions. The upper levels were often used for public and communal spaces, while the deeper levels served as secure zones for long-term habitation. Living quarters included carved-out sleeping niches, while kitchens featured soot-stained ceilings from controlled cooking fires. The presence of communal dining areas, storerooms, pantries, and even wineries and olive oil presses reveals that daily life involved not only survival, but also culinary activity and trade preparation. Large storage chambers preserved grains and dry foods, while stone containers held water, wine, and oil. One of the most remarkable aspects of Derinkuyu is its infrastructure. Sophisticated ventilation shafts, over 50 in number, ensured a steady supply of fresh air. Some shafts also doubled as water wells, crucial for long-term sustainability. Many wells were dug from the surface down, while others were isolated from the ground level to avoid contamination during sieges. Smoke from cooking fires was carefully funneled through hidden exhausts to avoid detection from enemies above. Defense mechanisms were vital. At key tunnel junctions, engineers installed massive circular stone doors, some weighing up to 500 kilograms, that could be rolled into place from the inside to block passageways. These barriers allowed residents to seal off specific areas in case of invasion, creating defensible zones and escape routes. Narrow corridors, some only wide enough for one person, served as choke points to slow down intruders. Religious and educational life was also accounted for. Chapels, cross-shaped rooms, and baptismal fonts carved into the walls suggest the presence of early Christian communities who used Derinkuyu as a sanctuary during times of religious persecution. One notable space appears to have functioned as a school, with rows of seating carved from stone. But what of the psychological effects of life underground? The lack of natural light, the constant cool temperatures, and the isolation may have impacted mental well-being. Oral traditions and archaeological evidence suggest that life below was communal, with shared rituals, songs, and gatherings helping to maintain morale. Light was provided by oil lamps, and reflective stones may have helped amplify illumination in certain rooms. The layout of Derinkuyu indicates a communal way of life that fostered cooperation and collective resilience. Living in Derinkuyu was not an act of desperation. It was a calculated response to danger, built on a foundation of engineering, social organization, and cultural endurance. Life underground was harsh but bearable, and perhaps, for many, even preferable to the dangers of the surface world. The immense effort and ingenuity behind Derinkuyu's construction beg a crucial question. Why build an entire city beneath the earth? The answer lies in the complex interplay of security, survival, and spirituality. Derinkuyu's primary function was clearly that of a defensive refuge, designed to shield its inhabitants from external threats. Historical accounts and archaeological evidence suggest that Derinkuyu was used as a fortified hiding place during times of invasion and war. From the Arab-Byzantine wars, 7th–11th centuries, to Mongol incursions and later Ottoman-era skirmishes, the region of Cappadocia was a strategic but vulnerable crossroads. During such times, entire communities could vanish underground, taking with them their livestock, food, and valuables. The city's hidden entrances, maze-like corridors, and stone doors were designed not just to protect, but to conceal. Attackers above would have had no idea that thousands of people were living just beneath their feet. When danger passed, the inhabitants would resurface and resume life on the surface. Another compelling purpose was religious sanctuary. In the early centuries of Christianity, followers faced periods of persecution from Roman authorities. The presence of churches, chapels, and Christian symbols within Derinkuyu suggests that it became a safe haven for worship and community life. Underground chapels allowed Christians to gather in secrecy, away from the prying eyes of hostile rulers. Some researchers also suggest that Derinkuyu served as a natural disaster shelter. Given Cappadocia's history of volcanic activity and extreme weather, it's possible that the city offered protection from environmental catastrophes. Its cool underground climate provided relief from scorching summers and harsh winters, making it a strategic seasonal shelter. Additionally, Derinkuyu functioned as a storage vault. The city contained chambers specifically for grain, wine, and water, which could be preserved longer in the cool, dry underground environment. These reserves could support the community during prolonged periods of isolation. Finally, the city may have served a wartime contingency role. Oral traditions tell of Cappadocians disappearing into the earth with remarkable speed when raiders approached. Derinkuyu was not just a refuge, it was a pre-planned survival system, reflecting a population well-versed in adapting to recurring threats. In essence, Derinkuyu was a multifunctional city, equal parts fortress, sanctuary, warehouse, and home. Its very existence reflects a worldview shaped by resilience, resourcefulness, and an unwavering determination to endure. Derinkuyu is undoubtedly the crown jewel of Cappadocia's underground world, but it is far from alone. More than 200 underground cities have been discovered in the region, each revealing a unique aspect of ancient life and strategy. Among the most notable are Kaimakli, Uzkonak, and Maza, each located just kilometers from Derinkuyu and interconnected by ancient tunnels. Kaimakli, for instance, is more horizontal in layout compared to the vertical depth of Derinkuyu. Its chambers are wider and more expansive, housing up to 3,500 people. Unlike Derinkuyu's deeper but narrower design, Kaimakli allowed for more communal and trade-based activity, suggesting that different cities had different primary functions. Uzkonak, discovered in the 1960s, is notable for its sophisticated communication systems, including small pipes that allowed residents to talk between levels. It also features unique defensive innovations, like holes above doorways to pour hot oil on intruders. Mezu, though smaller, includes well-preserved stables and communal rooms, indicating it too supported a structured underground life. What makes these cities even more astonishing is the existence of interconnecting tunnels, some stretching up to 8 kilometers, linking Derinkuyu to Kaimakli and possibly others. These subterranean highways suggest a regional defense system, a network of cities that could cooperate during times of crisis, sharing resources and shelter. The sheer number and distribution of these underground cities point to a widespread underground culture, possibly rooted in seasonal migrations, emergency drills, or ritualistic practices. Some historians even propose that communities would rotate between surface and subsurface living, depending on political or environmental conditions. Together, these cities form a subterranean tapestry, a vast hidden world beneath Cappadocia that defies modern expectations and testifies to the region's remarkable adaptability and cohesion in ancient times. Since its public unveiling in the 1960s, Derinkuyu has captured the imagination of the world. Today, 8 of its 18 levels are open to visitors, allowing people to descend deep into a living relic of human resilience and ingenuity. With narrow corridors, carved chambers, and mysterious passageways, Derinkuyu offers an immersive experience that few historical sites can match. However, the city's popularity brings challenges. Mass tourism, combined with natural erosion and occasional earthquakes, poses significant threats to the site's structural integrity. Conservationists and archaeologists continue to work diligently to preserve the fragile network of tunnels and rooms. Limiting visitor numbers, installing modern ventilation systems, and reinforcing weakened areas are all part of ongoing preservation efforts. Modern technology is playing a transformative role in safeguarding and uncovering more of Derinkuyu's secrets. LiDAR mapping and 3D scanning allow researchers to explore sections of the underground complex without causing physical damage. These techniques have already led to the discovery of previously unknown chambers and tunnel extensions, hinting that Derinkuyu may be even larger than currently mapped. The cultural impact of Derinkuyu has also been profound. It has been featured in documentaries, inspired novels, and appeared in films and television series exploring themes of survival and hidden worlds. For Turkey, Derinkuyu is not just a tourist attraction. It is a vital link to its ancient past, a jewel in the crown of Cappadocia's historical heritage, and an enduring symbol of human perseverance. Globally, Derinkuyu continues to intrigue archaeologists, historians, and travelers, reminding us that beneath our modern world lie echoes of civilizations who found extraordinary ways to live, survive, and thrive in the face of overwhelming odds. Derinkuyu is a marvel of ancient engineering, strategy, and adaptability. Carved silently beneath the volcanic rock of Cappadocia, this hidden city tells a powerful story of fear, survival, ingenuity, and above all, resilience. With its labyrinthine corridors, stone defenses, and evidence of structured communal life, Derinkuyu exemplifies the brilliance of people who responded to adversity not by fleeing, but by digging deeper, literally and metaphorically. The mystique of underground cities has long enchanted the human imagination. From myths of subterranean worlds to science fiction tales of hidden societies, the concept resonates with a primal curiosity about what lies beneath. Derinkuyu, however, is no legend. It is real, tangible, and breathtaking. Walking through its narrow passageways, one feels the pulse of ancient footsteps, the hush of whispered prayers, and the enduring presence of a people who learned to live without light but not without hope. More than just a historical monument, Derinkuyu offers profound lessons for the present and future. It teaches us that with limited resources and under constant threat, communities can build sustainable, secure, and organized environments. It reminds us that innovation is not solely the domain of modern technology, but of necessity, cooperation, and the will to endure. In an era of climate challenges, displacement, and conflict, Derinkuyu stands as a silent teacher. Its chambers may no longer echo with daily life, but its walls whisper stories of adaptation, unity, and profound human creativity. Derinkuyu is not merely a city beneath the earth. It is a testament to the human spirit, a time capsule of ancient knowledge, and one of humanity's most awe-inspiring accomplishments. Buried in silence for centuries, it now speaks volumes about who we were, who who we are, and what we might become when we are willing to look beneath the surface.